Good evening, everyone. Hello, are you hearing me, guys? Hello. Thank you. Without wasting further ado, we'll dive into the topic of the day, and our sustainable Miss Taiwo Akonde will be taking us on this sustainable journey this evening. In the comment section, kindly, with a round of applause, kindly welcome our sustainable eco-evangelist for today into the podium. Miss Taiwo Akonde, you have the floor, ma'am.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Please, can you confirm you can see my screen and you can hear me?
We can hear you, but not your screen.
Okay. All right. Can you see the screen now?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, not from my hand. You can go ahead.
Okay. Can you confirm if you can see my screen now?
Samrama said she can, and a couple others said they can, so I can't see your screen actually.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to the second day of our Green Stitch Academy. My name is Taiwo Akonde, and I'll be taking us through eco-conscious people harmonizing with nature. If you can see my screen, it is rightly written on my screen, eco-conscious people harmonizing with nature. So we'll be looking at who eco-conscious people are, the survival race, finding the balance, and then we'll be concluding. We won't be taking much of our time. So we are moving forward. So what does it mean to be eco-conscious? From the word eco and conscious, eco as in ecology, environment, and consciousness as in knowing, being conscious, being aware of what is going on around you. So what does eco-conscious mean? Eco-consciousness is to be environmentally aware and to stay true to the environmental impacts and implications around us. So what this is saying is that as we go about our daily lives, as we, everybody, you have one or two things you do every day. As we go about our daily lives, whatever decision we are making, we are putting into consideration the implications and the impact of these decisions on the environment. Let's take, for example, if you are on your way to work and you would want to, hello, please, can you still confirm you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
All right, thank you. So, like as I was saying, let's say you're on your way to work and you would want to grab a drink as you go to work. So, as an eco-conscious people, you will want to grab a drink that will require you not to use straw. That means you are ditching straws. You can get drinks. You can get drinks that does not require you to use straws, and you can get drinks that is not for that you cannot get. You can get drinks that is not a single plastic use drink. So that's what eco-conscious means. So you are trying to get whatever decision you are making sure that its implications and impacts are not going to be affecting the environment. So eco-consciousness That is what it means. So the race to survival, finding the balance of being the balance. How do we make sure that both humans, the ecosystem, all survive? How do we find an equilibrium within the survival of men, survival of humans, and the survival of the ecosystem? Droughts, rising temperatures, water shortages, and even a lot of other challenges. And to ensure a balance in the ecosystem, the survival of man is crucial to the ecosystem. Not only the survival of man is crucial, survival of every other living things, every other things in the ecosystem. Man only does not make up the ecosystem. The ecosystem includes the water bodies, the amphibians, the reptiles, and every other thing that we can find in the ecosystem. So to make sure that the ecosystem survive and thrive for a very long time, we need to ensure that both humans in the ecosystem. But does that mean that one knows that they contribute persistently to most of this destruction that's been happening? Does one understand the urgency of actions for climate change and the need to halt environmental destruction? Or is one even yet to recognize the need to stone this stroke for survival? What I'm trying to say here is that, as I mentioned before, for the ecosystem to thrive and for humans to thrive as well, we need to ensure that there is a very strong balance in the ecosystem and in the survival of one. A lot of people, as they go about their life, they do a lot of things that without putting into consideration what implication is my action is going to bring to the ecosystem. And what men do not know is that the ecosystem can survive without men, but men cannot survive without the ecosystem. Please, if you are following, I would like for you to drop, if you are getting me, I would like for you to drop something in the comment box as they're moving. So move forward. So let us find an equilibrium in our survival and the survival of the ecosystem. So to find an equilibrium, to ensure that both men and the ecosystem is surviving. Now, the focus is on the ecosystem. How do we ensure that we make sure that the ecosystem is thriving, the ecosystem is surviving? Because let me be honest with you, like I said, the ecosystem can survive without man. I mean, it's not only man that makes up the ecosystem. It's not only man that is, that makes up what we have as Earth. So to ensure that we humans, to ensure that we survive, we need to make sure that the ecosystem, other things in the ecosystem, other things that made up the ecosystem also survive. Man needs to understand that he needs to think about the fish while he goes fishing. He needs to understand that for him to survive, the fishes in the water needs to survive. The fishes in the water needs to try for him to survive. I mean, we go to the pond to fish fishes to fish to eat. But do we understand that these fishes are also part of the ecosystem, and what makes sure that our things are part of the ecosystem that make sure that we also are standing, we also are thriving. Man needs to think of water when he fetches. You need to know that this water that I'm fetching is not finite. It's finite. It can finish at a time. So one needs to know that this water that I'm using, if I use it in an unsustainable manner, it can finish it at some point. Man needs to think of the soil as it tilts and harvests. We should not use the natural resources like water, land that we have in a wasteful manner. We should think about ourselves. We should think about the ecosystem. We should think about the earth, because these things are what makes us thrive and what makes us live. Man needs to understand that all of the world's resources are finite. That is, all of these resources can finish at a time. I mean, we've seen flooding, we've seen flooding, we've seen natural disaster occurs, and these are part of what are caused by humans, activities. Are you following?
Yes, we are.
All right. Let's move forward. Okay, so I would like to ask a question at this point. Have you ever asked yourself, amidst the hustle and bustle to make money and enjoy life, what is the impact you leave behind? The impact is what environmentalists call carbon footprint. Have you ever think of, okay, I assume that most of us have not, we've not had interaction with what does eco-consciousness means, what does it mean to think of the environment while we are doing our thing, our own thing. But have you ever thought of, have you maybe as you are doing some stuff, have you ever thought of, okay, this thing that I'm doing, does it have any impact on the environment? I would like for one or two persons to unmute their mic and give me an answer. Yeah. Hello. Hello, is anyone still on this call?
She just asked the question. Who wants to give us a reply?
Oh, yes, you can type in the chat box. All right, you can chat in the chat box. Just tell me, have you ever thought of, have you thought of what the implications of every of your actions has on the environment? Has it ever occurred to you that, okay, this is what when I'm trying to brush my teeth in the morning, when I open the tap, when the tap is running and I'm not using the water, have you ever thought of, okay, this water that is wasting has implications on the environment? This cup that I buy, this bottle that I bought, I'm not going to use again, does it have impact on the environment? Okay. Once in a while. Yes, especially, okay. All right. That's impressive. Quite a number of us have, I've always been thinking about what our actions are on the environment. All right. That's nice. So let's move forward. We're still finding the balance. So do you know that every interaction with the environment leaves a carbon footprint in the sands of time, just like before us and future generations? So now, yeah, I'm saying that as we live now, whatever is happening to us now is as a result of the implications of people that have lived thousands of years before us. And whatever things we are doing now, whatever actions we are taking now is going to have great implications on generations that are coming, generations that are going to come. Because that is how the ecosystem is structured. Everything you do now leaves a footprint. The footprints are what people that are coming, for coming generations are going to be facing. Those are what they are going to be living with. Everything that is happening to us now is as a result of what the future generation, what the past generation have done, the consequences, and what we are bearing right now. So, and what do we mean by carbon footprints? So, explain footprints. Think of all the returns you give back to the environment, for all the good you derive from the environment every time, every day, every year, all year. Okay, so lots of people, we wear clothes. We know that this clothes is, a lot of clothes are derived from cotton that are grown. But when we get these clothes, when these clothes are manufactured, how do we give back to the environment? How do we are extracting? It's not cool to always extract. We extract for our own use, but how do we give back so that we replenish these things that we are getting from the environment? How do we give back to the environment? Is it always okay? When let's create a scenario. If you have a water in your bottle, you have a bottle water water, or you have a drum at your house filled with water. So over a month, you keep taking from this water, you keep taking from this water without replacing, without pouring another one inside the
I think there's a breaking connection from our end. Let's wait a little bit. Now that we are getting more participants here, our lecturers network decided to do anyhow. Hello everyone, are we still here? Our lecturer is back. I was about telling one of the participants to take over.
Okay, I apologize for that. The network is kind of horrible. So I'll continue where we left off. So I without trees. You can see my screen, right? Hello, can you see my screen? Okay.
It's just about it. Okay, yes, we can.
All right. So yeah, I asked a question. Oh, I pushed. Yeah. So imagine your city without streets, without trees. This is not vivid imaginations. Just imagine your cities without trees. It's not even something. I know it's dreadful, but it is actually the reality of today. A lot of us, if you have to count from your house, you can count a very reasonable amount of blocks of houses that you will count before you get to see a tree in your neighborhood. And that's really, 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 really true. But are we even concerned? We just need beautiful structures, beautiful houses, beautiful infrastructures. That is what we are concerned about. But do we know the implications of not having trees, of not having these plants around our neighborhood? Okay, let's continue. So structures have replaced trees to accommodate a growing population. What about the birds that nest on these trees? You know, I mentioned earlier that only man do not make up the ecosystem. The fishes in the water, the reptiles on the land, the amphibians, the every part, every animals make up the ecosystem. The air we breathe in, the water we use, everything makes up of the ecosystem. But when we cut down the trees, do we think about the birds that are nesting, the birds that live on these trees, that are surviving on the trees? Do we think about them? This is why you have a lot of illnesses, ailments, and we have a lot of toxins that are not filtered that we breathe in. Yes, like I said, there are no trees to take it in. It's to take in these carbon dioxide that we breathe out. So we are left, the atmosphere is filled with toxins, and these toxins are what we take in. You know, we have lots of infrastructures, we have lots of manufacturing companies, we have lots of production companies, we have a lot. And these things, the machines, the vehicles we use, the generator we use to power, everything release toxins into the environment, to the atmosphere. And there are no trees to, take in these things to replenish it, to cleanse it for us. What we discharge is what we take in. And at the end of the day, we have lots of illnesses. We have, right now we have increasing number of people with cancers, increasing numbers of people with different illnesses. But do we think about how we have caused these things? Do we even know that we are the source of our own problem? How well do we know? What do we know? Okay, moving forward. So, yeah, the theme for this academy is opportunities, and we have sports. So I would like to bring us to the issue of sports in this survival race. We've been talking about the survival race. How do we ensure that both humans and the ecosystem, how do we maintain a balance in our survival? How do we make sure that we survive? How do we make sure that the ecosystem survive as much as we want ourselves to survive? So the role of sports also in the survival race. Now, a quick question. So I would like for us to report in the chat room. In the budget allocation hierarchy of every government, how would you consider the appropriate order of allocation for these sectors? We have the health sectors, the forestry and environment, and youth and sports. How do you think for every government, how do you think the allocation of budget allocation should be? Which should get the higher budgets, which should follow, and which should have the lesser budgets? So I'll take health sector as A, forestry and environment as B, and youth and sport as C. So if you think youth and sport should come first, you can say C, health second, A, just arrange it. It could be. So I would like, in 2 minutes, just arrange it the way you think this sector should get their allocation. I'll be reading your comments. A, B, C, D, A, C. Okay. Okay. Beautiful submissions. I'm liking what I like what I'm saying. Right. All right. Okay. So lots of us, some of us want this ed sector first to get the higher budgets. Forestry, some people want the forestry and environment to get the higher budgets. But you'll be surprised that in some governments, in some economy, we have youth and sports getting higher budgets than forestry and environments. And in my own opinion, I would even say that the environment should get higher budget than the health sector. You know, the popular saying that prevention is better than cure. So if we want to make sure that we lessen the length of illnesses that we are facing in the country, we would want to consider the environment, taking care of the environment, making sure that we are, pushing things that can combat all these issues of the environment, all these climatic issues that we are having. We should put a lot of effort, we should put a lot of energy in trying to combat and suppress this environmental issue. Is also as important. But you'll be surprised that in some economy, in some governments, we have the youth and sports take higher revenue, take higher allocations of budgets than forestry and environment. That is not supposed to be so, because sports, lots of people, sports is I don't think it is not even it is not a thing of higher importance than environment. Environment should take to a very large extent, large allocations, so that we can be hammered with enough power so that we can combat the environmental issues that we're having. Now, sports generates a large waste during every sports tournament. We have various types of sports. We have fields, athletics, we have car racing, we have, football, different type of sports. So when a sport is happening in a particular country, some country even go as far as clearing some places so that there can be accommodations for, viewers, people that are coming to watch this sports. But consideration is supposed to be made for the environment, to make sure that the environment is thriving, the environment is rigid, the environment is accommodating. Should sports take much allocation than the environment? But these wastes used, how much do they contribute to the destruction of the ecosystem? But such things are what gets obvious priority over the environment from the government. Sports are not supposed to get lots of allocations from the government, but here we find ourselves getting sports getting allocations than the environment. So it's really a sad reality, but yet we have to face the reality we have. So we'll not waste much more time. We are going to conclude this now. Now, to conclude, I would like to say that there is no such thing as domination of man over the earth or over the nature. Like I have said countless times on this session, man is not above every other part of the ecosystem. Man is as important. Every other part of the ecosystem is as important as man in the ecosystem. For the survival of the ecosystem, man is as important. Every other system, fishes, flowers, plants, birds, every other part of the air we breathe, water, everything is as important as man. So there's nothing like man over the environment. Man is the hierarchy. There's no hierarchy in the ecosystem. Every part of the ecosystem works hand in hand. Every part of the ecosystem are important so that the ecosystem can be sustainable. And it is a toxic thinking that
doesn't exude accountability. Yes, it does not exude accountability to think that man comes before water, man comes before the best, man comes before this. It is not a thinking that should be entertained. It will not give room for accountability. You know, when we think, oh, the man are superior, man are the kings, the environment or the fishes are the subjects, man is the power, man is the government, the environment are the people, it will not give room for accountability. But when you think, oh, this water that I'm about to take has importance as I do in this ecosystem, you will know that, okay, I have to act sustainable. I have to act in an accountable manner in using this water. When you think about, oh, this fish that we're about to kill has equal importance, you think about how the other fishes in the water are going to be sustainable, how they are going to live, how do we make sure that they don't go extinct? The interaction of man and nature is not of king and subjects. Yes, like I have said, nature should not be considered a subject because nature can fight back and we cannot even withstand the fight back. Yes. Nature can fight back. We've been doing everything we've been doing. We've been throwing things at the head. We've been dumping things on the ecosystem. We've been doing every of our actions at the ecosystem. But do we even think that when it is time for nature to fight back, can we withstand it? No, we cannot withstand the fight back from the nature. Because when we have flooding, look at last 2022, 2020, even this year, 2021, look at the number of flooding that we had in Nigeria. That is nature doing its thing. That is nature telling us that I really can fight you people back. Everything you've done, and there is no way everything you give back, everything you give to the nature is what nature is going to return. You can't take care of your environment and expect, a bad turnout, a bad give back from the nature, from the environment. It is what you give that you are going to take. There's going to be returned to us. So we need to think that everything, as you move about your daily, sojourn in life, as you move about your day, use your sockets when it is no more in use. It's when simple things as that have implications on the environment. Be sustainable with things. Don't ensure there are no food wastage. Ensure you don't. So all these little things are what we should put into consideration. These are the little things that make sure that we humans are harmonizing with nature. These are things that are telling us that, okay, as human, as eco-conscious people, I want to think about the environment. I want to think about things I use. I want to think about my actions, my decisions. How does it affect the environment? How does it give back to the environment? When I take these things, how do I make sure that I return this thing back to the environment? How do I ensure that everything that I'm doing has little or no implications on the environment? Because at the end of the day, we are going to get whatever we give to the environment. Our children are going to get whatever we are giving to the environment. The coming generations, 5, 50, 60 generations coming, are going to get what we are currently giving to the environment. In spite of our technological advancements and how man is regarded as smart, it is ironical that we lack the foresight to preserve something that's already existing. We just have to guard institution positive vibes as we can ensure a is man is smart, but how smart do we consider ourselves? We even have ecosystem that is helping us, we have things that
We have left our lecturer. Bring our lecturer back. Bring our lecturer back. Join me as we call our guest up to leave our lecturer. Hello, everyone. Oh. That's what is really doing us strong thing here. Seriously. We have to battle against the environment, battle against the government, and battle against network. Why? The network does not want us to harmonize with nature. We will see this to the end of it.
Okay. All right. It's really very horrible. So I apologize again. Um, so yeah, we already at our conclusion. So um, I'm just going to leave us with the charge that every one of us should be responsible for the environment. We should be responsible for other parts. We should be responsible for ourselves. We should be responsible for other parts of the ecosystem. We should be responsible for the ecosystem itself. We should make sure that we live it. We should make sure that this ecosystem is sustainable as much as we want ourselves to live in a sustainable manner. So that is going to be all. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Just some Balkis, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, our wonderful lecturer. Even though it was a great time at network, we won. We won at it. We won at it. Thanks. And but one of the points you mentioned earlier, I feel you to just to this part. I will tell you that a lot of generations unite when it comes to sports, and we will argue that sports should take higher budget against the environment because they feel it's something that makes everybody like it. Or am I having the wrong stigma? It's just a question.
I really do not get what you just mentioned now.
I said a lot of youth, which I feel probably maybe the male, the male dominant, maybe the male. We want to believe that sports unite a lot of tribes, a lot of generations, even without not just the youth, and should take
Okay.
higher part of the budget.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you mentioned now. That the sport make sure that there is unity among the different ages and different groups and all of that. But I still think it is not as important as the environment. The environment does not only affect we that we're living now. It does not even have to unite us. It affects the generations that are coming. When you do something as little as dropping a disposing indiscriminately, when you do something as little as that, and you have to know that this thing that I just did now is going to affect not only myself, my children, my children's children, and generations that are coming. So that should be a thing of fear, that this thing is very important. It's something we should take with we should not take with levity, and we should take with every of our consciousness, every of our mind, every of our being. So the environment is very important, and it's much more and very much important than what the sport is going to offer us. So I hope I answered the question.
You really answered the question well. What I feel is that we should try as much as possible to balance our sporting activities in such a way that it does not have so much effect on the environment, or a way where we can harmonize our sporting activities to go in line with the every environmental condition we choose to find ourselves in. Thank you so much for that, Mark.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, let's stop the battle against the network and go back to our chat rooms. Thank you so much for attending our wonderful GSAM. Gigi, Sam, GSAM, Mayopo, Yampalere, GSAM, Chris, Gigi, Sam. GSAM Ramat, and Jadesola, thank you so much for being here, ma'am. Wonderful lecture, Ms. Tyra Konde, thank you so much for being here. And to every other participant here, thank you so much for attending. Now let's look more down. So I shall, before I forget, do some gifts. Happy birthday, ma. Can we, before we go, I need us to sing a birthday song. Please unmute your mic. Let's sing a birthday song for one of us, wonderful gifts and some gifts. Hello. This I not. Find me a mood, please. You want to sing a birthday song for this? Isam Ramad.
Hi, they can all unmute now.
Now you can unmute and let's
Yes. Okay, we're ready.
Now, Victoria, Olabukala, kindly lead us a short birthday song for this and bits. Akala Victoria, are you there?
Seems she can't even hear you.
Seriously. Madam Yusuf, are you here?
Hello.
Ebony, I think.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, kindly lead us to sing a birthday song for our sister.
Pardon, I can't hear you clearly. A birthday song.
Yes, for our wonderful sister.
Okay, at the count of 3, we'll sing happy birthday for her.
Okay.
1. Can everybody hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, at the count of 3, please let's sing a happy birthday song for her. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Can you hear me? To you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray.
Hooray!
The party to the
Happy
classroom.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gift.